Hey, my friends, welcome to Daily Faith. If you had seen the technical maze we have just been in before this program started, you'd be amazed and impressed that we're actually here to be on the program today. We have got a great show, a great friend of mine, a lifelong friend. I've known Myles Holmes for, dear gracious me, 50 years, I guess. I met him when we were both teenagers in New Brunswick in Canada. And so we've kept in contact over the years. He pastors a great church called Revive USA in Collinsville, Illinois. But this man has been unique in all of my pastor friends, of all of the relationship I have in this country. This man had a word from the Lord about Donald Trump. Now, you may laugh at this, but this is truth. And he has been prophetic in what's taking place. And he's going to be talking about that today. As we're watching this saga unfolding of two different camps, and they're desperate trying to kill the presidential hopes of Donald Trump. And every time they get him in a situation, they end up falling in the same situation. It's just, I've never seen anything like it before. And we're going to be talking about that today. So you may learn a few things in this program. He has a web, I don't know what you call it, a website with a Facebook page of millions. And he's going to say some great stuff today. So we're just so excited to have you. If you could help us share this program, like it and share it with your friends. And as you know, because we deal with some subjects that they don't like very much, they can restrict. You get a code when you're doing this regularly, and that determines how many folk get to see what you're doing. And I think we've upset some folks, but we're not stopping. We are absolutely loving what we're doing. God is blessing us. I've got some reports from Moldova that's going to bless your heart tremendously. For those that don't know, we've got a mission work there, and we are right in the middle of a war zone and watching the faithfulness of God unfold before us. So whatever you are today, we're just delighted to have you with us. YouTube.com, is it .com, Andrew, /. My screens aren't working here. I don't know why. Usually I've got a screen that tells me what I'm going to be saying, and he's forgot to switch that on. But we are just having a ball today. The devil must not be wanting us to talk to you. And this is just a kind of warm-up show that we do before the actual show. And my son's wondering how come I'm not reading this stuff he tells me to say, because my prompter isn't on. That's part of the reason right there. And there you go. The Daily Faith is on YouTube, youtube.com/ Daily Faith. And you can go there and subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, but it sure helps us. We are thrilled to have you with us. Turn on notifications, he's telling me now, so you'll know when I go live, so you don't miss a broadcast. It looks like a bell on the screen. Is that what you're telling me, Andrew? And so I just feel good in my soul about this program, that we're going to be talking about stuff that's going to count in your life and in the future of this country. This is important. If you love your pastor, get in contact with him right now and say, watch Philip Cameron. He's going to be talking to Myles Holmes about Donald Trump. He may learn a thing or two. We're delighted you're with us. Welcome to Daily Faith. Hello, my friend. Welcome to Daily Faith. My name is Philip Cameron, and I am delighted that you're joining with us today. Some things are important. Some things are really important. And I believe that the destiny of America is of the greatest importance to the world. Let me explain. I'm Scottish. My friend and guest today, Myles Holmes, is Canadian. We are both foreigners living in America. We are both now part of American society. I'm a citizen. And sometimes folk from the outside can see things more clearly than folk from the inside can. We fought, my wife and I fought for years legally. It cost us everything we possessed to become an American, to get a green card initially, and then become a citizen. And we are watching with absolute just astonishment that we are allowing millions of people to come in, undocumented people, unscrutinized people. This morning in the news, they've just found a bunch of terrorists, a whole group of terrorists this morning, and they're now being caught by whatever force went and found them. They're from Tajikistan or somewhere like that. Out of the millions of people that have come into this country because of Joe Biden's policy, we are living at a risk that we've never seen. The FBI, they're saying this has never been at this level before. And we need to waken up and defend our country. The Christian stance has been up to now. Let's just pray, and we're going to be quiet and be, humble, keep your mouth shut, sit in the corner, and the real people will take care of it, and God will take care of it somehow. Let me tell you what, I'm a prince and a king unto God. I am. I have authority in the kingdom of God. And my responsibility is to speak and to be heard in this dialogue, and so have you. And for years, this whole thing with Donald Trump, I believe that God sent him to this country. He is rough. He is ready. Some things he does makes my skin crawl, but he has the tenacity to stand for things that normal politicians would not stand for. And we're going to be talking about that today, and I think you might learn a few things. And my friend Myles Holmes, he's a great man of God. And you're going to love what he's going to say. I know you're going to learn some stuff today. Before we get to that, I want to talk to you about our mission work in Moldova and Ukraine. We have been in Moldova for 35 years. We have homes in Moldova, and the capital is called Chisinau. And we take young folk in that are either in an orphanage and they're put on the streets when they're 16, or kids that come from horrendously desperate, poor situations that are at risk of being trafficked. Traffickers can get one of these kids. A young girl gets in a car thinking she's going for a new job, and where she's going is hell. And these men beat and rape these girls until they literally acquiesce to anything. And then they sell them. And they use them 30 to 50 times a day. And each of these girls you'll see in this video, if caught by the trafficker, would earn $300,000 for the trafficker. And we have a village called Vatra Village in Moldova. We have a home in Odessa, Ukraine. There you go, that's our village in Vatra Village. Last night we had horrendous storms there. It was crazy, and I got a whole bunch of video because a bunch of the workers and the kids have got phones, and I was deluged by a whole bunch of different angles of the same storm. It was so funny. But it's just amazing what God's doing in these homes. The kids come to us, we put them back in school, we tell them, you're not a mistake, God's got a plan for your life, and the change in their lives is absolutely ridiculous. Part of their healing process is that they give and they go and they become ministers, and they have camps, and they go non-stop. In fact, yesterday when the storm hit, they were all in one house having a planning session for the next set of camps coming up. And the other day they had a camp in Chisinau for handicapped kids and handicapped adults. And our kids ran this camp, a bunch of former orphans. And my son Andrew was there, and he said, man, you've never seen anything like this. And I just got this video. It's only just about a minute and a half long. But you'll watch our kids loving handicapped folk into the kingdom of God. Watch this. Bible says, when you've done to the least of these, you've done it unto me. And that's orphan kids ministering. You may have seen a man sitting in a wheelchair ministering. He was preaching. He is a pastor. And for years, his passion has been to find and to make homes for young kids to come. We get the kids at 16. We want to get them younger so we can share the gospel with them and save them from a whole life of agony before they even graduate from the orphanage. And he is going to be working for us in our ministry as the house parent and the leader of our younger kids. We've got 2 homes we're believing God for this year. And it's a great challenge, and we just it's amazing. At the same time as this is happening, our kids graduated. This year, 7 of our kids graduated. It's bittersweet because when they graduate, they move on. We get them an apartment. We help them. They come back home for food if they get stuck, and it's just to watch them fly. And I get the same anxiety as I did when my own kids came to this age. And watch these kids celebrating their graduation with all the other kids at Vatra Village. This will really bless you. Watch this.
A good social worker.
Study in foreign languages.
Fashion designer.
To build homes.
Mom and Dad, thank you for the opportunity to be a good social worker.
Thank you for the opportunity to do my study in foreign languages.
Thank you for your support. Thank you for the people who invested in me and for showing me the love of God.
Hey, I'm so happy and so grateful that I studied tourism, and thank you so much that there were always someone who took care of me.
Thank you for opportunity to study social work. It was a dream for me that became true.
I'm grateful to be able to build homes.
Thank you for support and opportunity to become a fashion designer.
And that is the miracle that takes place every day at Vatra Village. These lives come to us broken, told every day in the orphanage, you're garbage, you're trash, your mother doesn't want you, your father doesn't want you. And when they come to us, we tell them, if you're born, God has a plan, you're not a mistake. And we put them back in school. And you imagine all the other young kids that are there, the newer ones that come in, watching these kids graduate, the hope picture that puts in their mind. And we couldn't do it without folks just like you. Your giving makes this possible. And if you'd like to help us, the whole ministry that we have there is based on someone giving $1 a day. You can change your life for $1 a day. And if you'd like to help us to become part of this miracle that goes on and on and on, generational, all the kids that are now, all the house parents at Vatra Village were once kids that we found and rescued. And they are now the house parents in the homes. So please, you can help us. It's real simple. P.O. Box 25, Clinton, Tennessee, 37716. You can give on dailyfaith.tv or 1-833-DAILY FAITH. Please consider helping us, whether it's a one-time gift to help us with these new homes or monthly support. You are changing people's lives. Be God's hand extended. I'm delighted to have my friend with me today, and he's a friend. And we're old guys. In fact, we were talking before we started how much time we've spent in the ministry, being married, and our lives are very parallel. Myles Holmes is pastor of Revive USA in Collinsville, Illinois, and he has a tremendous ministry in the faith, but also has a word for the church regarding Donald Trump and what we're facing in our world today. And Myles, I'm delighted to have you with us. Thank you for coming to be with us today.
Philip, it's always a joy to be on Daily Faith with my great friend. I can't actually think of another friend that I've known personally on a first name basis in ministry for more than 50 years. You're crazy? Incredible. I love what you're doing in Europe. I love what you're doing in America. And I love the fact that you come to Revive as often as you can. And Philip, I got to tell you, there's one thing all of my people say to me and ask me right after you leave, Monday or Tuesday the next day. You know what that is? They ask, when can he come back again?
Wow.
You were just loved. We love your ministry. We support you.
Oh, wow.
And we encourage everyone watching today. I'm going to be sharing this on all my social media platforms, of course. We want you to support Philip Cameron, everything he's doing, a man of God that has been at this all of his life. I first met you when you were 13, and you've never changed. You've had a heart for souls, for the gospel, for people. You love people. And that, you have my highest honor and respect, Philip. Love you, what you're doing. Bless you.
That is so kind. That was the $20 promotion. Thank you so much. I'll send you the money. You are living, and I can't even quantify my respect for you in that God challenged you to stand up for Donald Trump in the last cycle when he first was elected. And when he was defeated, this last election by Biden, and most folk just abandoned the ship. But you says, no, this story is not completely told yet. Give us a synopsis of what your thought process and your revelation process has been in this whole thing.
Well, sure, Philip. I had an interesting experience just the other day. As Donald Trump, sometimes you have to get out of this situation and look at a 30,000-foot view, look down and really, really have a sense of what's happening. And as I realized Donald Trump was on the phone with his probation officer, I realized we're living in a twilight zone. It's actually amazing that we're now in a banana republic, a third world dictatorial Marxist society where the political powers can literally try to silence their political opponent. Now, listen, they're also saying, of course, the left is now saying, well, Hunter Biden was found guilty. That proves we don't have a two-tier justice system, right? That proves that criminals are found guilty. Well, no, listen, Hunter Biden was found guilty for being a criminal, a drug addict, buying a gun. He was a criminal doing crimes. He was found guilty. Donald Trump was charged with being Donald Trump and found guilty. That's precisely exactly what's happened in these court cases. Back to 2016, I was not even a citizen yet of America. I was so frustrated with people saying, I'm not going to get involved. God's will is going to be done. And I said, that is so stupid. That's such bad theology. I wrote a book encouraging people to vote for Donald Trump before I was a citizen.
Wow.
In that book I wrote, God's will is rarely done. God's will is not done when a child is murdered, when a baby is aborted, when a drunk kills somebody on the highway. God's will is rarely done. God's will is only done when God's people respond and do what God wants them to do. God doesn't go into a voting booth. You've got to go into a voting booth.
Absolutely.
So I wrote a book, Why American Patriots Must Elect Donald Trump, in 2016. I became a citizen 4 days before the election when I could vote for Donald Trump, and I did. Now, I wish I had written a book in 2020. I did not. God forgive me for that. But he was not elected. How much of it was stolen, how much of it was rigged, I don't know. But the MAGA movement has only grown since then. Americans have seen how good we had it under Donald Trump. They've seen how poorly we're doing under Biden. And more Americans, even Democrats, even liberals, are realizing we need to bring Donald Trump back to save America. I believe that with all of my heart.
There's a sea change. I mean, I'm watching it. I got the news bug from my dad when he was alive. He used to read 8 newspapers a day. That was before all the cable news and stuff.
Sure.
And I've just watched this, and people who previously have just been absolutely anti-Trump have come to the conclusion that no matter how his style can be off-putting sometimes, but what his results is what matters. And we're now watching these terrorists that were discovered, I mean, yesterday. They arrested them yesterday. If that's what they found, how many else are in this country? Tens of thousands of Chinese are in this country from all different parts of the world. And it's a bomb literally a bomb about to explode.
Absolutely, Philip. It's insanity and the left, of course, will always say, they always try to spin it as best as, well, these were found. But you're exactly right. These were the ones that were found.
Yeah.
There's millions of getaways, people that we don't even know that are in the nation.
Absolutely.
And terrorist groups, of course they are. The FBI is warning it that there are more red signals now, more warning signs now than we've ever had before. America better wake up. America better fight for what is right and true. We talk about MAGA, Make America Great Again. I always had, we want to make America godly again.
Yeah.
And my wife, my beautiful wife, Valerie, who will turn 65 on Monday, by the way, she says we need to make America again.
Yeah.
Get back to our foundation.
That's so
Get back to the Constitution. Get back to what has made America such a leader in the nation.
I wrote
Donald Trump is.
I wrote something.
Go ahead.
I wrote something the other day that if you took every single person out of Scotland, every single person out of Wales, every single person out of Ireland, every city, every village, emptied everybody out of those 3 countries, it still isn't enough or equal to what we know is in the country. Not the getaways, but what we already know. It's like emptying Scotland, Wales, and Ireland into America.
It's astonishing.
It's mind-blowing.
It's absolutely astonishing.
And if they were Europeans, and if you import the third world into your country, you end up becoming a third world country. I was watching a thing the other night from, I think it was Uganda or somewhere, and they had a street scene, and they had these ladies out, and they had their quilts out on the ground, and they're selling stuff. And I saw the exact same thing of New York City, women sitting on the ground with their quilts out, and I'm thinking, they are turning our country into a third world country. That's what you get.
Exactly, and it's on purpose. They want to destroy America. It's simply this: there's an America First movement, and there's an anti-America movement.
Yeah.
And literally, they want no borders. They want an international society. They don't want American identity any longer, and that is moving swiftly towards the spirit of the Antichrist. There's no. Think of how much the Democrat Party is literally, unbeknownst to many of them, but literally pushing for the Antichrist world government. No more dollars, digital dollars, no more cash. They want to monitor you. That's the mark of the beast.
Absolutely.
No more borders. They don't want a national identity. That's world system. They're literally pushing the buttons that'll make it much easier for the Antichrist to take over when he comes.
I was watching a lady, I forget her name, but she's a finance minister in Europe, and they've made a law in Europe that you cannot pay for anything over 500 euros. If you don't report it, then you can be put in jail. So they're now controlling the money, the cash society, because cash. They can't control what I do with cash, but they can control what I do with my bank card. The times that we travel all over the world, and the times we'll be sitting in Romania or sitting somewhere trying to buy gas, and someone in Alabama or someone in Tennessee will say, block the payment. And
exactly,
that's what they're working on, so that they can control. So your social footprint can be determined by them as to whether or not you're worthy of spending your own money. It's insane.
And remember a couple of years ago in Canada, that's what they did to the truckers convoy.
Yes.
Literally, if you bought pizza for the truckers, they shut down your credit card, your bank account, and your Bitcoin, your digital money. The people are always saying to me, you got to get in Bitcoin, you got to get in all this stuff because the government can't touch it. It's outside the system. what a foolish thing to believe.
Yeah.
The government in Canada shut down the Bitcoin, the Dogecoin, all of it, just for buying a pizza for a trucker.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That's how they control.
It's about control, manipulation.
And they want, it's all about control. I believe the mask situation with COVID, all of the stuff, the forced vaccinations, all of that
Absolutely.
was I believe that they have in their systems procedures in place that if a situation arises, they can take this off the shelf and impose it on the public. And I think they use COVID to have a test on how much they can control the society. They stopped churches.
Not a question in my mind.
They
Absolutely.
closed down church services. They were able to control people. We were told by the president when Biden came in power, if you are not taking the vaccine, you are killing people. And it was a fear campaign to control the populace, and they'll run that again and again and again. I'm watching all the time. When's the next pandemic coming so they can write in votes? We don't have to go to the poll, just write in votes.
If you love America, if you love your religious freedom, if you love your economic liberty, if you're dreaming about buying a house someday, you better vote for Trump, my friend.
That is the truth. That is the truth. My sons, we moved to Tennessee and we bought 3 lots of land on a lake to build homes. And thankfully, I sold my house in Alabama for enough money that I have enough to build a house. I'm waiting for the prices to come down. Hopefully, if Donald Trump comes in, that will happen. But my 2 sons have been priced out of the market because of the inflation. The first thing he did, he put the price of fuel up. The price of fuel affects every thread and stick in your house. That caused inflation, that caused interest rate to go up, and we are now in the situation America is in just now was not caused by COVID, it was caused by policies of a man that decided to control the society. And
well, remember, the Democrats are statists. They want you worshiping the government.
Yes, sir.
They want you worshiping the state. Donald Trump has said on more than one occasion, in America, we don't worship government, we worship God.
Yes, sir.
And that's what we need to get back to. Absolutely.
Tell us the folk. We've got just over 2 minutes left, Myles, today. I want you to, there's folk watching that recognize that Trump and what he did in his policies was better than what we've had in the last 4 years. But they're still thinking, well, you know, I just can't bring myself to vote for Donald Trump. Help us get over this silly squeamishness, because our nation is burning and we need someone to go to man the fire pump.
If you're not voting for Trump, you're voting for abortion without limits. You're voting for the transgender mutilation of children without any age limit. You're voting for a destroyed border. You're voting for third world cities in our American cities. You're voting You're voting for more religious restrictions on your freedom to preach and to teach the gospel. You're voting for the Antichrist system. If you're not voting for Trump, it's not just, you cannot not be involved. A lack of vote for anybody is a vote for the other side. You use your head, use math. Vote for Donald Trump. Vote for sincere Republicans who believe in the Constitution and believe in the Bible. It's amazing to me. I know we're almost out of time. Think of this. The same people who think the Bible can be twisted, manipulated, changed, they're the same people who think we can do that to the Constitution.
Same people.
They're the same people. It's amazing.
How can people get in contact with you? What is the best website? Where's the best way to get in contact with you?
MylesHolmes.com, Myles with a Y. You can find me on Facebook at Myles Holmes as well. You can also go to Battle of the Republic or Trump and the Great America. God bless you.
Trump and the Great America. This man is fearless, and he convicts me of. I mean, I'm pretty fearless, but I admire him so much for what he's doing. And Myles, thank you for being with me. I honor you for your courage to stand up, and I encourage other men of God to do the same thing, because if we don't do something, guys, this whole thing's going to go down the tubes, and we will be guilty of this. We will be guilty of this. Thank you again for being with me, Myles. We can't wait to get you back again. And the next time it'll be calmer, I'm sure, technically.
Bless you.
Thank you for watching Daily Faith today. We love you guys. Thank you for being part of our family. Help us in our ministry in Moldova, Ukraine. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.
For over 25 years, the Cameron family has been changing the lives of orphans in Romania and Moldova. From providing running water, flushing toilets, and clean wells, to coal for heat, new windows, as well as food and clothing, they champion the physical needs of the orphans in these broken and desolate countries. Many of Moldova's orphans are saved from the horrors of trafficking through homes founded by the Camerons, and in the process, orphans become daughters and sons. They come to know their Heavenly Father and are forever changed by the love of Jesus. God help the Camerons lift these amazing young men and women out of darkness. Now, no longer orphans, they want to return and invade that very same darkness with the light of Jesus Christ. The Orphan's Hands equips these daughters and sons to become missionaries. Your monthly gift of $31 will allow us to rescue and take in more girls and boys, saving them from the hell of human trafficking. Your monthly partnership will allow us to care for those in the Orphan's Hands homes in Moldova and the Ukraine. If you want to join Philip and Chrissy in taking care of these precious young people, please contact us today by calling 833-DAILY-FAITH. You can also give by going online to www.dailyfaith.tv or by writing to Post Office Box 25, Clinton, Tennessee 37716. So many lives depend on what we do. Thank you for loving the lost.